Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the show. Hope you guys save some energy because it's time for you guys to go one more round with Rob. Here on today's show, we're going to be breaking down the top-ranked boxing card from this past Saturday, which was headlined by Miguel Berchelt putting his WBC Super Featherweight Championship on the line against Oscar Valdez. So, quick note before we get into the show. I know on Facebook and Instagram I had told you guys that I would be breaking down 4 of the fights on this card between the undercard and the two main fights on the main card. However, the first fight I was going to break down on the undercard, that is, didn't come on. I didn't get any kind of update on why that didn't happen. I'm assuming one of the fighters ended up falling out, but I haven't seen anything about that specifically, so I'm not sure what happened there. But I still have the 3 other fights that I told you I was going to break down for you, so let's jump into those. So the first fight I have for you ends up being the Elvis Rodriguez versus Luis Albert Verón fight. So this coming into this fight, I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. It's been a while since I followed boxing as much as I do MMA. So I don't have as much information on these guys when prior to the fight starting. So I don't have too much information on some of these guys. Obviously the bigger guys, Canelo, Pacquiao, Mayweather, all those kind of Triple G, all those kind of guys I know more about, but some of these guys like this fight don't have a lot of background information for you guys right now, but I will in the future. So just a caveat on that. So Elvis Rodriguez versus Luis Albert Verón. Round 1 starts out. Verón comes out pressing and being aggressive against Rodriguez. So Rodriguez was the younger guy in this one. And from everything I was gathering before the fight and how the announcers and commentators were talking about him, this kid could be a good up-and-comer. So this was definitely a test for him. And Verón starts out pressing and being aggressive against him, which is impressive against, the kid who's supposed to be maybe the next guy coming up in line. Verón ends up landing a good body shot and a couple of good body shots about halfway into the round, and it kind of gets Rodriguez's attention. Rodriguez starts to definitely pay attention to those kind of things, and just throughout that first round, a lot of times in boxing, that first round is a big feeling out round for a lot of the guys. They want to see what the other guy's going to do. Excuse me. They want to get their timing, all that kind of stuff. But I felt Verón came out and he was pretty aggressive from the start, and I felt he had the better pressure and offense than Rodriguez through the first round. Rodriguez did land some. He was slipping out the jab and the straight and some hooks and uppercuts in there. But I really felt Verón pressing him was really impressive for me, and I thought Verón had a little bit of the better of the first round. Now, round 2, the two come out, they meet in the middle of the ring, and Rodriguez begins to open up this time. But Verón, he's not ready to kind of concede that ground, so he starts pressing Rodriguez back a little bit as well. He keeps pressing him back, and about halfway into the round, that's when he really starts pressing him back. But Rodriguez in this round is slipping Verón's punches a lot better than he was in round 1. He's slipping the punches. He's moving a little bit better. It seems like he kind of used round 1 to get his timing, figure out what Verón was going to do, figure out Verón's speed, and now he's really doing good at slipping the punches. He's moving better, and now he's finding openings on Verón, and he's landing better on Verón, which is good, seeing as, like I said, I felt the first round Verón did a better job than Rodriguez on that. And now it seemed that Rodriguez was trying to flip the script and do that same thing to Verón. So round 2, I gave Rodriguez. Coming into round 3, both came out throwing body hooks. This to me, was really good. They both came out and they're like, all right, I think they had to have had in their mind, hey, this guy did better than me in this round, but I did better than him in this round. So, let me see if I can start wearing at that gas tank of his to keep this fight in my favor. So they both come out trading body hooks. Rodriguez, though, lands a good jab straight combo, and that's when he starts to take over the round, in my opinion. Once he landed that jab straight, or the 1-2, 1-2, as they call it in, as it's called in I guess, the number version of the punching form. So once he lands that combo, he really starts to take over the round. It seemed like he stung Verón, maybe not hard, but definitely stung him enough to get Verón's attention and be like, "Ooh, this kid does have some power. I really gotta be mindful and pick my spots about this." So he really takes over the round after that combo. Rodriguez starts pressing more. He's pressing a lot more in round 3 than he was in round 2, and especially in round 1. And then he ends the round with a really good. He was a hard and stinging. It was a straight hook combo that he threw on Verón. It was just before the bell, and it really, I feel like it really stung Verón, and that really got Verón's attention as well. So I think round 3 was definitely Rodriguez's round, with that 1-2, 1-2 combo about halfway through, I think it was. And then right at the end, that straight hook combo that he threw. I think those are the two big portions of the round that really shifted it towards Rodriguez's way. And again, the work that he was doing throughout the round wasn't terrible either. It was, good stuff, really starting to get in and land shots on Verón. Round 4, Rodriguez keeps up his pace, keeps up his pressing, comes out and immediately starts pressing Verón again, really starting to get into his face, really starting to back him up more. He's becoming more aggressive. He's landing more. He's really gaining confidence in himself in this fight now. So especially after round 1 kind of went towards a little bit more towards Verón's way, in my opinion. Rounds 2, 3, he comes out, Rodriguez that is, comes out and really starts to kind of impress his game as well. And then round 4, he's really feeling that confidence now. So now he's really starting to press. Verón, to me, in round 4, appeared to be starting to get a little tired. He appeared to be kind of wearing a little thinner on the gas tank than Rodriguez was. I don't know if that's just the way I was seeing it. I don't think any of the commentators made note of that in round 4. But to me, when I was watching it, I was like, oh, this guy seems like he's getting a little more tired than Rodriguez is. And that could be an issue later on down the line, especially since this was an 8-round fight. If you're coming in round 4, that's your essentially middle round. And if you're already looking tired, that could be an issue, especially in the later rounds. But I think a lot of that was just because, rounds 2 and 3, Rodriguez really started to come on and press Verón. And when you're constantly trying to evade a guy, you're constantly getting hit by the guy, it takes a lot out of you. It really does. So round 4, Rodriguez comes out pressing, and that just kind of wears on Verón even more, which, again, is why I think he appeared a little more tired than Rodriguez in the round. And Rodriguez had a lot of success in this round. He was landing good shots. He was still picking his shots. He was still picking when he wanted to throw and, how hard and that kind of stuff and his target. And he was landing, I would say, a majority of his shots in that round. So I think that kind of momentary fatigue for Verón was the reason that Rodriguez had such a good round in round 4. Now round 5 starts, and Verón appears to be a little more energized to me when they come out to start, which I don't know what to attribute that to. I guess he got back into the corner, and maybe his corner and his coach gave him a pep talk and been like, "Hey man, you were dragging in that round. You need to pick it up because this kid's starting to pull away from you." Or if it was just like those first 3 rounds just kind of dug a little deeper into the reservoir than Verón thought they would. And, that break that he kind of took a break, so to speak, in round 4 and then took the break in between rounds to regather himself and gather some energy. I don't know, but he just appeared more energized to me and to start the round. And so I thought that this may be a point where Verón could start to get back into the fight. But Rodriguez comes out and he doesn't, it doesn't seem to faze him. He starts attacking Verón's body really well, which is really good, so especially when a guy seemed tired in the last round and he comes out kind of energized. You go right to that body, you start digging at that gas tank, and it can definitely wear the guy's reserves down or what's ever left of them. Verone was more active in the 5th round than he was in the 4th round. But Rodriguez was still landing the better combos throughout. He's still kind of moving better. He was picking his shots better. He was picking his targets better, And so, I thought Rodriguez took the round. Verone coming out energized, definitely kind of added a little spice to things, so to speak. But Rodriguez pretty much took over the round, almost immediately. And was just like, nope, this is my fight. And I'm going to take control of it. Now, round 6 comes out, and again, Verone seems a little more energized. He seems kind of how he was when he started round 5. He seems energized. He seems to have caught his second wind, in my opinion, when I was watching the fight. I felt like round 5, I was like, okay, he's a little more energized. Round 6, he was coming out still pretty energized, similar to what he was in round 5. And I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe he's got his second win. Maybe he's caught that and he's, ready to go out there and make it a good competitive fight for the however long it lasts, whether it goes all the way through the fight or whenever somebody gets the stoppage. Rodriguez, though, comes out. He lands a good uppercut about a minute and a half into the round, so just about halfway into the round. Lands a good uppercut. And that's where he kind of set the bar for the rest of that round. So, because then after that, he starts, again, controlling with his combos, his pressure, his movement. He's picking his shots. He's really doing well at kind of picking Verone apart and saying, hey, this is my fight. I'm going to control this. This is my time. It's time for you to sit down. Round 7, Verone comes out. He starts landing some good body shots on Rodriguez to start the round. It was probably about the first 30 seconds of the round. He landed a good couple of body shots to Rodriguez. But Rodriguez then, in turn, comes out and he landed a good hook combo to Verone's body about a minute into the round. So they both come out. They start attacking the other's body. They know it's the later rounds. It's we're in round 7 of an 8-round fight. It's like, look, this guy's got to be tired. If I go to his body, it's going to make him more tired again because I'm going to dig at his gas tank. A lot of times people are like, hey, people can think that going to the head is a lot better than going to the body. But I can tell you this, in a late round of the fight situation, dig into the other person's body or getting dug to your body. If you get dug to your body, it is the worst because you're already tired. You're starting to get fatigued. If you're not, somewhat fatigued already. And when you just take that body shot, it just takes all the wind out of you. It really is not, it's not pleasant. So round 7, these guys both kind of start off having the same frame of mind. It's like, I'm going to dig at his body. I'm going to dig at his gas tank. I'm going to make him more tired than I am right now, which is a good strategy for both of them, to be honest. But then Rodriguez lands a straight and an uppercut combo that really backs Verone up. That grabs Verone's attention. And again, after that point, Rodriguez always seemed to have one point where he landed a good combo, and that's where he kind of got Verone's attention. He stung Verone, started backing Verone up, and that's where he kind of shifted and began to be more aggressive, start pressing forward, and really start controlling the round from that point. And normally it was about that halfway point. It seemed to me that Rodriguez would normally take that first half of the round, try to see if Verone was going to try to do anything different. Once he realized he wasn't going to do anything different, Rodriguez said, okay, cool. This is my round again. This is going to be my fight. I'm going to show you why. And that's exactly what he did here in round 7 as well. So then we go into round 8. It's final round of the fight. At this point, I've got Rodriguez up every round except for the first round. But Rodriguez comes out, and he comes out like he has lost every round before that because he immediately starts pressing Verone, starts backing him up. He's tired, but I don't think he's as tired as Verone because he's still landing better than Verone in this round. And that's not to take anything away from Verone because Verone actually does better in this round And in some instances, I thought he landed better than Rodriguez. But Rodriguez's pressure and his pace, even in this round, I thought was impressive. He landed some good combos. He dictated the action. And that was kind of the theme, in my opinion, throughout the whole fight, minus that first round where it seemed that Verone was the one that was dictating the action in that first round. And in that first round, it almost looked like Verone was going to be the guy dictating the entire pace of the fight until Rodriguez flipped the script on him in the second round. I think once Rodriguez flipped the script in the second round, Rodriguez just took the fight over. Verone, he did everything he could. He fought well. I'm not saying he fought terribly. He fought well. He did really well. Just in my opinion, not enough to stack up to Rodriguez, and that's kind of how this 8th round went as well. Verone's trying to do what he can to say, hey, kid, maybe you need to take a step back. But Rodriguez was like, no, man, I'm not taking a step back. I'm just going forward. I'm going to show you why this is my fight. I'm going to dictate it. And that's exactly what he did, in my opinion, in the 8th round as well. So we go to the decision. No surprise really for me. It was a unanimous decision win for Rodriguez. On one card, one judge had it scored 78-74, so they gave 2 rounds to Verone and the other 6 rounds to Rodriguez. And then on the other 2 cards, they gave him a score of 79-73, so they gave every round except for 1 to Rodriguez. Like I said, I think that first round was probably the round that all 3 judges saw for Verone. And obviously the other 2 saw the other 7 rounds for Rodriguez. I think that third judge that gave 2 rounds to Verone, it could have been that first and last round, because Rodriguez did seem to kind of take the last round off a little bit in comparison to the rounds 2 through 7. But again, in my opinion, and obviously the opinion of the other 2 judges, I thought Rodriguez did enough in that eighth round to win it. I'm not sure that those are the 2 rounds that one judge scored for Verone, but that would be my best guess, just looking at how the fight went and how each fighter did in those rounds. So, next fight I got for you guys is Gabriel Flores Jr. versus Jason Velez. This was the co-main event of the card. Like I said, I only have 3 of these for you this week because the first one that I was going to do fell off the card for whatever reason. I haven't found a reason yet. So this will be the second of the 3 fights that I broke down for you. Like I said, co-main event. Round 1, Flores comes out and he throws a quick 1-2 combo to start off. Like I said before when we were breaking down the Rodriguez Verone fight, a lot of times guys will come out and use that first round as essentially a feel out round. They will kind of try to get their timing, see if the other guy's going to come out and do anything quick like that. Flores just comes out and just quick 1-2, like boom, boom. He's like, jab straight. He almost came out and was like, I just want to dominate this fight from bell to bell. They both actually exchanged well through the first half of the round. I think Flores landed better. But Velez came out targeting the body of Flores. So Velez had knew, he was like, I'm going to come out and I'm going to dig at this guy's body and I'm going to, really wear at his gas tank from minute 1 to whenever this thing ends. And so I thought that was a really good game plan from Velez to come out and just start trying to hammer the body and try to get Flores' gas tank down, because it really seemed like Flores was going to be the more energetic of the 2 fighters, especially coming out with that quick combo and seeing how he did with the exchanges with Velez. I did think Flores had the better round overall. I think, that quick combo coming out really kind of set the pace for him, and he was really able to use that as a means to start pushing forward immediately on Velez to really control the round. Round 2, they both open up. They meet in the middle of the ring, and Velez, he starts to land a little bit better than Flores to start off the round, although Flores is still landing some strong shots. It's not like Velez is coming out and immediately kind of flipping the script, kind of like what Rodriguez did to Verone. Velez comes out, he starts landing a little bit better, But Flores still has his shots as well. And I think Flores' shots to begin the round were a little bit of the stronger shots. In the second half of the round, Flores does a lot better with evading Velez's punches. He does a lot better with his movement. And he does a lot better job with landing his shots as well. So I think Velez had a better output than he did in the first round. But Flores came on strong in that second half of the round, and especially with his slipping and evading and the way he was able to land off of that. I think, again, he did better overall. So I had the first 2 rounds for Flores. Round 3, Velez comes out, and he kind of uses the round to try to target Flores' body. So he realized, hey, this guy has a ton of energy. He's really coming at me. I got to go to the body. I got to start digging at his gas tank. I got to make him tired. Really great strategy, except Flores starts mixing up his shots from the head to the body as well. And he's really starting to shoot his jab out quick and hard in this round. He definitely started using that to keep Velez at bay. And he even used it when Velez was trying to go to his body. You know, he started to realize when Velez is going to my body, if I can stick a jab out there, I can kind of catch him almost off guard, essentially, and you know, really start to diminish what he can do when he goes to my body, and you know, kind of try to persuade him, for lack of a better term, to not do that anymore. So So that was round 3. Again, I thought Flores did the better job in round 3. Even with Velez coming out and trying to get to his body, Flores, you know, that worked for a small portion of the round, and then Flores made that on the spot kind of adjustment, and he started to take that round over again. So again, gave the round to Flores there. Round 4, Flores comes out and he starts landing even better against Velez, even with Velez trying to go to his body. So this is the round where I was really impressed with how well Flores was able to react to Velez going to his body, and, you know, almost countering that before Velez could even get there. So he was able to time up Velez when Velez was trying to go to his body, and he just wasn't having it. He just, you know, he was using good movement to evade Velez's attacks. Velez still lands some good body shots on him throughout the round, and especially just before the bell, Velez landed some really good body shots on Flores. But overall in the round, Flores was evading Velez's attacks, and he was really starting to land against Velez as he was coming in for the body shots to try to dig it at Flores' gas tank. Again, pretty easy in my book to say Flores won the round. Round 6, Velez comes out and he starts to almost push the pace a little bit more to open the round. You know, which I thought might be which I thought was a good idea for him. I certainly thought that he was down in the fight, so, you know, with, you know, 3 rounds left, he had to come out, he had to press, he had to make, you know, he had to make an impression that say, hey, I'm going to finish this fight. And in my opinion, that's what he had to do to win the fight if he was going to. So he comes out, he starts pressing, but Flores, big left hook to landed on Velez about 1:15 minutes into round. Velez gets up immediately, and Flores just starts, or I'm sorry, he doesn't get up immediately. He gets the standing 8 count. He didn't really stay on the mat too long, though. He got dropped. He got up. He had the standing 8 count. Ref said, hey, are you good? Walk towards me. He does so. They start the fight again. Flores, though, as soon as they start, it goes right after Velez, starts putting the pressure on him, and he drops Velez with another left hook. It was a good left hook. He was kind of stepping, if I remember correctly, he was kind of stepping away to pivot and evade a shot from Velez, and just bang, good left hook. And immediately the ref just comes in and stops the fight. I think the ref saw something that he just, you know, he was like, hey, you know, that shot may not have been as strong as the first left hook that dropped him, and so the ref was like, "Hey, it's time to call it a day." I'm not sure what exactly the ref saw there that was different than the first one. Either way, stops the fight. Flores is your winner by TKO at 1 minute and 47 seconds of the 6th round. Overall, I thought it was a good stoppage. Valdez was certainly not going to win the fight if he couldn't stop Flores, and it didn't look like Valdez was going to stop Flores. So it just didn't. It looked like Flores was just controlling the fight enough that Valdez just wasn't going to be able to stop him. So overall, I think it was a good stoppage. I don't think Valdez needed to take any more damage than he did, especially after being dropped those 2 times, and the second time so soon after the first time. So now we get to our main event. Miguel Berchelt puts his WBC Super Featherweight Championship on the line against Oscar Valdez. Now, I do have some information on the prior to the match starting, kind of how these guys weighed in and what they kind of looked like and everything like that. Berchelt, after weighing in, immediately went and began to start rehydrating and getting some food in him. So he definitely seemed to have a harder weight cut than what Valdez appeared to be, because when Valdez went to weigh-ins, he just appeared not as drained as Berchelt did. So that could be, Berchelt just had a rough weight cut. It could be Berchelt just might be getting too big for this weight class. It's hard to tell. But it appeared that Valdez had the better weight cut, had the better situation going into this fight. So with that in mind, we start round 1. Both guys, they come out fainting. They, just like I would expect most boxing matches to start, they come out fainting. But Valdez starts to kind of push forward on Berchelt, throwing more throughout the first round. But Berchelt kind of lands more, in my opinion, than Valdez is. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Mic got loose there. Sorry about that, guys. So Valdez is throwing more throughout the first round than Berchelt. But in my opinion, Berchelt was landing better than Valdez overall. So I think when you look at the energy output, I think Valdez definitely had the more attempts, but I think Berchelt's landing percentages might have been up there even with Valdez. So for me, kind of a tougher round to call on that one. Round 2, Berchelt comes out, and he opens up throwing a little bit more and more often than he did in round 1. I don't know that was... sorry, guys. Hang on. I'm sorry. There we go. Mic stand, for whatever reason, did not like me today. Sorry about that. Round 2, Berchelt comes out. He's throwing a little bit more often than he did in round 1, and he's backing Valdez up. Valdez is more defensive in this round, but he's picking his shots better. And I think he started to land better because of that, just because he wasn't trying to be so super aggressive. Off a strong jab, he makes Berchelt's nose bleed. Not a big deal, but it was definitely something that was like, oh, that was a good shot that landed for Valdez. That could be something to turn the fight in his way and start to turn the momentum his way. And that just may be what it was, because round 3 comes out and Valdez starts off with a jab overhand right combo to really kind of come out and say, hey, this is going to be my fight. Then he starts using good movement. He starts sticking and moving more. So he starts landing, 1, 2, 3 punch combos, and then getting right out of the way so Berchelt can't respond with a counter attack. Berchelt lands well in the last 20 seconds of the round, but overall the round was just Valdez sticking and moving and, landing on Berchelt and getting out of there so Berchelt couldn't land on him. Round 4, Berchelt tries to keep Berchelt comes out and he's trying to keep Valdez on the ropes this time. So he's trying to push and press Valdez, keep him up against the ropes in the corner so that he can't use that sticking and moving game plan that he was doing. But Valdez still does really well with sticking and moving. So that game plan that he had in the third round really carried over into the fourth round. And I think it started to almost frustrate Berchelt just a little bit. Not a lot that you could obviously tell that Berchelt was bothered by it. But Berchelt starts pressing a little bit more. And Valdez, because he's using that good stick and moving game plan, he's able to hit him with a left hook that drops him with about 1:15 left in the round. He hits him with the left hook with about 1:15 left in the round. And then he really starts to open up on Berchelt. That's when he lands another hook. That causes, and it kind of backs Berchelt up. And had the ropes not been there, Berchelt probably would have fell again. So the ref, as he should have, ruled it as a knockdown. Gave Berchelt a standing 8 count. Now, looking at Berchelt, I really thought this was going to be the end of the fight. Berchelt's legs were super wobbly. They were extremely wobbly. But he ends up answering the 8 count. Ref, he says, hey, step to me. He steps to the ref. And the ref, felt his gloves like they always do. Seemed to be able to keep his arms up. So the ref lets him keep going. And at this point, there's only maybe 10 seconds or less in the round, I would say. At 10 seconds at most. It probably wasn't even that much. It was probably 5 seconds. So the ref says, hey, we can go. Valdez comes out, and he almost drops Berchelt again in the closing seconds of the round. So it was probably about 5 seconds left in the round when the ref said go. Valdez almost drops him again, which it was just absolutely crazy. I thought, in between rounds here, his corner was surely going to stop it. The doctor was going to come and take a look at him. The ref was going to take a look at him and say, no, I don't like this. But none of those things happened. Berchelt comes out in round 5, and he's clearly still hurt. You can see that his legs are still wobbly. And he's trying to avoid Valdez just because he doesn't want to get hit. He knows if he gets hit again hard like he did in round 4 there, he's going to get dropped, and it most likely could be the end of the fight. So he's trying to avoid Valdez, but Valdez lands a good left hook about 20 seconds in, and, he really starts to open up and land some shots, land some good hard shots. And at one point in the round, I want to say it was maybe 30 or 45 seconds into the round, the ref has to tell Berchelt, hey, if you don't engage, I'm going to stop this fight. Because Berchelt's just trying to evade Valdez to not get any damage on him, to not take any damage, that is. But he's not really throwing anything back. So the ref has to tell him, hey, man, if you don't engage, if you don't throw something back, I got to stop this fight because you're not fighting back at that point. You're just trying to survive. That can't be something that you're trying to do throughout an entire rest of the fight, especially coming into round 5 when it's a 12-round fight. That's extremely dangerous for the guy. Berchelt does answer that warning. He does start throwing more. He does start to do a little bit better towards the end of the round, but Valdez he controls the round, and at the end of the round lands a good right hand with about a minute left. Lands a good right hand, which really, I think, again, kind of stung Berchelt, since he was obviously already still hurt from that 4th round. I think that punch right there at the 1 minute mark of the 5th round here really did another number on Berchelt. I say that because round 6, Berchelt comes out and his legs are still wobbly. So I would like to believe, even though it could not be, I know it's most likely not true, that round 5, Berchelt kind of recovered from the round 4 knockdown up until that shot that Valdez landed on him at just about the minute mark of that left in that 5th round. But honestly, Berchelt was still probably hurt from round 4. Definitely still stung a little bit from that right hand close to the end of round 5. And so Berchelt's legs are still wobbly. Valdez goes back to trying to pick his shots a little better in the round, but he gets stung by Berchelt this time. Berchelt landed a good body shot, and you could tell that Valdez did not like how it felt. You could tell that really kind of took a good shot to he really took a good shot to the body, and that could have started to dig into his gas tank again. And Berchelt starts to feed off of that, and he starts bringing the fight back to a more even ground. So he's landing better. In my opinion, I thought he landed a little bit better than Valdez in that 6th round. I think he, especially starting with that body shot, I think Valdez really took that to when he took that body shot. I really think he started to be like, hey, I got to get back to what I was doing before. I got to stay on the outside with this guy essentially. But I think Berchelt, just because he landed that body shot, he started getting more confidence and he just started landing better. And I think that kind of carried him through the 6th round. And I thought that he could have won that 6th round. And I was a little surprised, but seeing what I saw and seeing how well he was almost bringing that fight back to an even ground, I felt that I could give the round to Berchelt if I was a judge that night. Round 7, Valdez comes out, and I don't know if Valdez was feeling pressure because he thought that Berchelt may have won the 6th round or not, but he starts throwing some wild shots, and I don't understand why, because he was doing so well with sticking and moving, and the rounds previous to round 6. So I don't know why he came out throwing wild shots, but he does, and he misses them. And he's throwing these wild shots in the first minute of the round. And Berchelt is starting to land off of those misses. He was really able to key in and time those shots that Valdez was missing. And he started to land off of them. And he kept landing and kind of controlling the action throughout the round. Now, Valdez lands a good hook combo with about 30 seconds left in the round. But I thought Berchelt overall did the better damage. I think he landed more. I think he landed better than Valdez, and that was just because Valdez was trying to come out and throw wild punches. And again, I don't understand why, because he was sticking and moving well in the rounds previous to that 6th round, and I didn't understand why he tried to get wild so much. Round 8, Valdez comes out and he opens with a good big combo. What I mean by that is he had a lot of punches in the combo. He wasn't just kind of throwing a 1-2 and being out of there. He threw a good, multi-punch combo that just kind of strung together. And I thought most of it landed, maybe not hard, but it at least touched Berchelt, which was good because then that got, him back into, hey, I can control this fight. And then he starts using his movement again. And he really started to use his stick and moving again like he was in the rounds, like I said, previous to round 6. Berchelt lands some good shots throughout the round as well, but overall, I thought Valdez getting back to that sticking and moving and everything like that really did what was really what won him the round back, what really got him back on track. That being said, round 9, Valdez comes out and he realizes that that's the game plan that he's got to take. So he comes out, he stays with the sticking and moving. He is, he's making Berchelt come to him at this point, and I think Berchelt knew that he had to press forward because he was getting low on time. This is round 9 of 12. He's most likely down most of the rounds, all except for maybe 2 or 3. In my opinion, he may have only won that round 6 and 7. So he's really got to, Berchelt kind of doesn't have a choice but to kind of come after Valdez anyway, because in his mind, he's got to know that he's got to try to get a finish. But that leads to a left hook that stings Berchelt again. And later in the round, Berchelt's dropped with a left hook uppercut combo from Valdez. So I think that pressure of coming forward for Berchelt, it definitely adds into the punches. When you're coming in on somebody and they can time you and sting you right there, that definitely adds into that other person's power. But Berchelt, he really didn't have a choice, and Valdez was just doing so well that night with sticking and moving that it happens. It happens on the night, and that night, Valdez's game plan up to that point was working almost perfectly for him, and that's what kept catching Berchelt. Round 10 comes out, so this is round 10. He's only got round 10, 11, 12 to try to make something happen here. He's again on wobbly legs, most likely from that left hook uppercut combo that Valdez landed at the end of the ninth round there. So he's on those wobbly legs again, and his right eye appears almost swollen, so almost swollen shut. So this might be why Valdez was having such good success with his left hooks. And he was having good success with his left hooks most of the night, and especially in that like round 8, 9. Round 10 is definitely when I noticed that, Berchelt's eye, his right eye, that is, was appearing to be almost swollen shut. And that could be why Valdez was having so much success, especially with his left hooks, especially in some of these later rounds that he's having that success with. Now, Valdez is absolutely controlling this round. Again, he's doing the stick and moving. He's making Berchelt come to him, making Berchelt chase him. And that's where Berchelt made his mistake. Was he in round 10, he really tried to chase Valdez more, in my opinion, than what he was doing in the other rounds. And Valdez taking a step off of his stick and move. He's moving. Berchelt is pressing in on him, and bang, hard left hook. That put Berchelt out cold. Literally out cold. And this is at the very end of the round. The very end of the round. I kid you guys not. When I was watching this fight, Valdez takes his step back. He lands that left hook. And as soon as his hand hit Berchelt's face, Berchelt went down. But as right after, almost immediately after Valdez lands that left hook, the bell goes. Berchelt was out. The ref stopped the fight immediately. But it was a really good, how do I want to say? It was a really good game plan from Valdez that led to that shot. Sticking and moving all night, knowing that at some point that's going to kind of put him in the lead on the scorecard, and then Berchelt is going to have to press him and try to come after him. And that could lead to that opening, which is exactly what it did. So Oscar Valdez wins the fight by knockout at 2 minutes and 59 seconds of round 10. Like I said, 1 second left in the round. It was, definitely a really good, really well-timed shot for Valdez. A really or a really bad timing for Berchelt, because if he hadn't pressed forward on Valdez in those last 5 seconds, he might have made it to round 11. He might have even made it through round 12, and they might have gone to a decision. But unfortunately, he felt like he had to press Valdez, and he did that aggressively at that point in time, because that's what he felt he had to do. And he got caught, and that is what it is. It's the game. So Oscar Valdez wins, like I said, at 2:59 of round 10. He is your new WBC Super Featherweight Champion. Now, in my opinion, I thought the fight, like I said before, I thought the fight should have been ended at the end of round 4 there, when Berchelt got dropped the first time, and his legs were extremely wobbly. I thought his legs were almost gone. I don't, in my mind, I still don't know how they let him fight. I think that's one of the things with boxing that I would like to see change, is the ref being able to look at the fighter overall and be like, dude, this is for your own safety. Because I think Berchelt ended up taking a lot more punishment than he should have. Now I do understand that I said that he arguably could have won rounds 6 and 7. But if you look when you look at the fight overall, and you look at how well Valdez was able to do what he did, and you look at how he was able to land that left hook, and that right eye swelled shut, and he dropped Berchelt, and he was landing the hard shots. I felt after that round 4, Berchelt was just taking unnecessary damage that could have been avoided. I think that's one thing that MMA does a little bit better than boxing is their stoppage guidelines are pretty clean and cut. They don't get a standing 8 count. Yes, they can take shots on the ground, but the refs are a lot a lot quicker in some cases to stop the fight in regards to fighter safety. So I think that's one, and I understand this is the way that the boxing sport has been, and it's always been this way, and it may always be this way even in the future. I would just like to see a little bit of an adaptation to it, to similar to what the MMA refs are kind of. Sometimes they're a little trigger happy, and they jump in there a little too soon. I will admit that, but I think a lot of the times they jump in at just about the right time to say, hey, let's keep this guy as safe as we can. And that's just something I think that boxing could do a little bit better on. And I think this is a good example of it. Like I said, especially after round 4 when Berchelt's legs were wobbly. After that last knockdown, when Valdez knocked him out cold, he was down for at least a few minutes. I know that they were taking him to the local hospital, so I hope he is okay. I haven't heard any negative news, so I'm sure that means that everything is in the positive and he is recovering, however well he can at this time. But I hope he takes the time to fully recover. Berchelt, that is. I hope he takes the time to fully recover. I hope he takes the time to recover not only from the knockout, but the obvious concussion that he's going to have from this. I hope he's able to recover as quickly as it is safe for him to do so. And I hope he has, like I said, to get some time to let his whole body rest and come back to as close to normal as he can get, or if he can get back to normal, especially after that presumably tough weight cut that he had, and then the knockout loss. In my opinion, I think that tough weight cut led to the knockout loss, because I don't think he was able to rehydrate himself as much as he had to dehydrate himself to make the weight limit. So maybe he rethinks this and he doesn't fight at super featherweight anymore, and he picks a weight class that he can make the weight a little easier, so he doesn't drain his body, doesn't drain the fluids, so that he has all that shock absorbing ability in his body still. But congratulations to Oscar Valdez. Great accomplishment, becoming a world champion and doing it in such a dominant fashion as he did. So congratulations to him, taking nothing away from him. He did what he had to do on that night. So guys, that's all I have for you. Drop a comment, like, and subscribe down below or up above, wherever YouTube has those buttons now. Drop a comment below. What do you think on my opinion of when the fight should be stopped? Do you think I'm right on that, maybe Berchelt shouldn't have been allowed to go after that 4th round? Or do you think, hey, Rob, you're crazy. If the guy can answer the 8 count, he should fight? Let me know. We can discuss it. I will be breaking down a couple of fight cards for you guys again this weekend, and I will provide you with those breakdowns next week after I watch the cards. I haven't picked which cards yet, but once I do, I'll post them on Instagram and Facebook, so keep an eye out for those. In the meantime, congratulations, guys. You guys just went one more round with Rob. Hope you guys stay happy, safe, and healthy, and I'll see you guys next time.